Recon Athlete, episode 112. Chris Sanchez, Paul Rodriguez, Zach Lucetto on his way, I'm assuming. Shout out to Snoop Daniel in the green room. Maybe his room. The Dallas Cowboys are now 1-2. Dak Prescott is who I thought he was, which is a stat queen and not a leader down in the red zone or anywhere going down in the fourth quarter.
He's not clutch. I think that's what you just said, right?
Yeah,
he's not clutch.
Not clutch, man. No. It wasn't when they had a chance to come down in the fourth quarter to go down and tie the ball game. There was a part of me that, of course, being a Dallas Cowboys fan, was like, okay, yeah, let's do this, Dak. But there was a bigger part of me that said this isn't going to happen. He's not that type of quarterback.
Like you felt like you didn't have any confidence he was going to be able
There was no confidence. I had no confidence in the fact that he would bring the Cowboys down to be able to tie the ball game, let alone put it into overtime, let alone win it and beating Russell Wilson. Of course, he had almost 472 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Yeah, that's what everybody's talking about.
You know, why?
Because people think that a Dak Prescott who has a lot of statistics, Garrett, will put him into a category for him to get paid. And I think the only category that Jerry Jones wants to pay him in is the wins and losses.
Well, yeah.
And so I kind of have this mindset and have kind of thought about it a little bit more, kind of more in depth. And the mindset is that Jerry Jones is going to give Dak Prescott every opportunity and every crutch, so to speak, to be successful, because I believe Jerry wants to pay Dak. So what does that mean? Why did he decide to keep Kellen Moore? He brought Kellen Moore on to be offense coordinator. As far as I understand, its information's been released, Kellen Moore is in charge of the offense. Mm-hmm. So if Kellen Moore was to be the bridge between McCarthy and Dak, that is going to be an asset for Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott's going to have all these assets. I think Jerry Jones is putting everything on the table to say, look, can you perform and win with your big stats? And if you can, I'll pay you. If I give you every opportunity to be successful and you still can't win games, why should I pay you?
Right. And they're 1-2. They are a miracle comeback win from being 0-3.
Yeah, they should be 0-3.
It should be 0-3. Mm-hmm. And now they've got the Browns. They've got 3 home games coming up. You know, I think that's the advantage that they have right now is they have the Browns and the Giants, I believe, and then the Cardinals all at home. You can go 2-1 in that game, in that streak.
That run, yeah. You can also go 1-2.
What would the 2 be?
I think the 2 would be the Cardinals and the Cleveland Browns.
Really?
Yeah.
You think Baker Mayfield and the Browns would come in?
No, I think it would be the strong running game with Dak with
you getting hollered at?
You know, I think messages are coming in. I think the Cleveland running game would be the asset for them, and I think 1 or 2 big plays are going to be asked of Baker Mayfield with him utilizing his tight end to move the ball down the field. That's the only way I see Cleveland winning. But that sounds like the recipe that Dallas should be utilizing, and they don't because they want to make Dak Prescott throw over 50 times per game because I think Jerry says, you can have your numbers, but I need W's.
I mean,
you want to get paid? Great. Win.
Right. And granted, there was a lot of, I mean, they were behind most of this game.
Because they have no secondary.
Right. And Zeke Elliott had 14 carries, 2.4 yard average. He had 1 touchdown. I mean, Dak, okay, throw 57 times, 472 yards. And that's what I saw too on Twitter, on Facebook, and all the Dak lovers.
Whatever.
Where, he had 472 yards, he had 3 touchdowns, blah, blah, blah. It's the defense and this and that. And it's like, well, he had a chance at the end. All right.
Yeah.
You had an opportunity to take your team down the field, get in the end zone, tie it up, and then possibly win the football game. Didn't get it done. You have 3 great receivers, right? Would you say 3 or 2?
I mean, the way that number 11 Calvin Watkins played, they may have 4.
Okay.
4 strong, 3 great receivers, 4 strong receivers.
Okay.
The same recipe happened in the Los Angeles game. Mm-hmm. Dak had a chance at the end to go drive down and score and win the game. Same thing happened in this game this past Sunday. It just seems to be a common denominator that nobody really wants to acknowledge unless you're being unbiased about it, being honest about the situation.
Yeah. And Cedric Wilson, who's number 11, by the way, 5 catches, 107 yards, 2 touchdowns. Mari Cooper, you got Mari Cooper, you got CeeDee Lamb, you got Michael Gallup at 138 yards. You have an emerging leader in Dalton Schultz. I mean, he's not bad. He's not great. It's.
I hear Anthony Fasano when I hear that name. That's what I hear. Anthony Fasano. Okay, yeah, great. And then goes Bryant.
I mean, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And then you got Zeke Elliott and Tony Pollard. You can't forget about Tony Pollard. Everybody forgets about Tony Pollard. So Dak, you have plenty of weapons. There's plenty of opportunity for you to be who I want you to be.
Right.
Which is a guy that can take the team down the field when it's needed. A guy like Aaron Rodgers. A guy like Drew Brees. Tom Brady can do it. Those type of guys, I have confidence in. I would be like, oh, okay, yeah, this can happen. When Dak gets back there, no confidence, 0. I'm just like, nah, this isn't gonna happen. I was already like resigned to that they were gonna lose this ball game when it was like up to Dak.
Yeah, I had the feeling they were gonna get beat a lot worse than what they really ended up losing by. I thought this was gonna be like 14 points or more, but I think it's purely on. I think the shortcomings for Seattle's defense is really what kept Dallas alive in this game. Mm-hmm. And if Dak Prescott really is, the elite quarterback that everybody says he would have won. But again, if Travion Diggs the rookie cornerback doesn't knock that ball at DK Metcalf's hand in the first half, like it could have been out of hand. Mm-hmm. There's a few plays where if they don't give up 2 blown assignments, really 3 blown assignments, those 21 points potentially could have been off the board. And maybe it's a different game. But again, I mean, Dak Prescott has to perform when it's crucial crunch time to do so.
So in your mind, Paul, if you're Paul, Jerry Jones, Rodriguez, I mean, do you believe that Dak Prescott should be paid at this point?
And this season, no. I mean, I think he's making way more money on his franchise tender than he would be. Now, I think Dallas is going to end up, like we said, 9-7, maybe 10-6, but probably 9-7, 8-8. And they're going to franchise tag Dak again. And they're going to see, okay, we're probably going to pay you probably in the around the neighborhood 37, 38 million next year and franchise tag. Can you get us to an NFC Championship game? I think that's what Dallas is looking for. 12 wins. I mean, some pundits, some guys out there are saying they're going to get 12 wins this season. I'm like, y'all are not the 1993 Cowboys where Emmitt Smith was vacationing, and then when he came back, they went on a tear. Yeah. That ain't happening.
Right.
So as of week 3, no. But I mean, I still have to take into consideration it is week 3. I think we know who Dallas is. I think we knew going in because we were fair about it. But hypothetically, let's just say Dallas signs Earl Thomas, who the workout for the Texans got, I guess, canceled. If Dallas brings in a guy like Earl Thomas, or the guy like they should have brought in Jamal Adams, Jerry Jones again failing to make an acquisition there. Maybe Jerry gets it right with Earl this time. I don't know. But what I do know is that they need to shore up their secondary by any means necessary. And right now, if they're going to keep having blown assignments and you're going to give up 2 big plays because your secondary may not be as confident in the scheme as maybe somebody with more maturity, maybe more experience, you're going to give up 14 points off blown assignments.
Yeah.
And you're going to lose.
Right. And but I mean, when I look at these two teams, when I'm watching Seattle and Dallas, I mean, they pretty much have the same weakness, right? The secondary.
Yeah.
The difference between Seattle and Dallas is what? Russell Wilson and Dak Prescott.
I think when
Zeke Elliott.
When Jamal Adams really got hurt, their pass rush just diminished. Seattle's diminished. But yeah, I think that's an X factor, and that's when Dallas climbed back into the game when Jamal Adams went out. And so Russell Wilson looks like an MVP candidate.
Right.
He looks like an elite quarterback, and that's the glaring difference between the teams that won and the teams that didn't win this past week on that afternoon game on Sunday.
Yeah, and a team that won is Mr. Zach Lucetto is representing. That was Sunday night. The Green Bay Packers 37, Saints 30. What do you think about your Packers right now, Zach?
I've been real tired on football days. It's like
Did you
hard
not watch the game?
No, I did. But
Oh,
it's
okay.
it's like makes me want to like go to sleep. Just I don't know. Maybe football is just it's been away from us for so long that it's just so soothing to see now. It just like puts me to.
Is it like watching?
relaxes me.
It's like watching golf for me. I like to watch golf
Yeah,
and
yeah,
take
maybe
a
that's
nap.
the difference.
Sunday afternoons.
But I think this Packers win was huge just to steal a win without Devontae Adams.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was huge, and I think for like fantasy owners, I think this is a perfect time to sell Lazard because I don't think he's going to do that again. I mean, we saw this last year when Devontae Adams went down. There just statistically speaking has to be someone to step up and get majority of the targets, and for Matt LaFleur to like scheme open, and that just happens to be Lazard. So I think once Devontae Adams comes back, I think I think you just get him back in stride. I mean, Aaron Jones looks good. Aaron Rodgers is putting up Dak Prescott numbers and wins, which I think is like a huge difference.
Yeah, well, he puts up 3 touchdowns, but no interceptions.
Yeah, and then
That's the difference.
And then, I mean, they're still missing pieces on defense, especially on the defensive line. It's like the same problem as last year was just stopping the run, which you saw a bunch against the Saints. But when they get healthy on the defensive line, I think they're going to be pretty good this year.
You think so?
I do.
I mean, they're 3-0 right now.
Yeah.
I mean, top of the league, of course. I mean, other 3-0 teams include the Chicago Bears, right?
Yeah, who brought in their backup quarterback.
Who
Nick
should be
Foles.
their
Who should be their
starting
starting quarterback. Yeah.
But the Green Bay Packers, 37-30 wins over New Orleans Saints. Does Drew Brees look old now?
No, he just doesn't look like he has a number one receiver,
Michael Thomas? Yeah.
Because
But I
I
mean, like, you
promise
don't
when
have
Mike
to.
Thomas comes back, it's going to be a totally different team.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, you don't have to. Like, they get so many yards just off of dumping it off.
Kamara's just an animal.
And like Dak did that for a long time when they called it Dink and Dak. And I mean, why throw it down the field if you can get more yards than that just from throwing it behind you?
Yeah. Sorry, I was reading something from Steven Angiano.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Shout out, Steven. He said, I pulled a Zach. I'm late. We can start now.
Oh, it's all good. We started without you, bro. But no, man. The one thing that I saw that I thought was the linebacker core for Green Bay. Even though they did have to replace their Mike linebacker, they still did, I think, an adequate job just to try to, corral Alvin Kamara as best they could. But he still got loose.
Yeah.
But for them to play that type of running back is, I think, awesome. And then Murray, when he spells him, I think also is a great addition. But I mean, maybe this is a time where before Mike Thomas comes back, the Saints need to really heavily rely on the running game just to kind of wait till you get your number one guy back, because I think that relationship and chemistry between Breeze and Thomas, I think right now is going to be their saving grace.
Yeah, and I think also the whole Lazard thing.
I like Lazard.
Yeah, see, and that's what I'm thinking.
I don't think he's sustainable.
You don't.
I don't think he's.
I mean, because we talked about it last week. Remember, we were talking about Lazard and Lazard King and how Aaron Rodgers gave him that name and like he liked him last year. And, even after this performance, Zach, you're still kind of on the fence. Are you on the fence or are you doubting him at all?
If there's like, if your number one receiver goes down and you're in practice, you got to talk up the next guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, especially to like instill that confidence in him. Like, oh, Aaron like gave me a nickname. Aaron's talking about me to the media. Like, you got to do that. And he only like, if Devontae Adams hasn't missed a game in like 3 years, we wouldn't. There's no way we would talk about Allen Lazard like we do. But it's just the fact that he goes down, and when he goes down, he's next up.
Yeah.
And I think we've seen, especially with the success of Devontae Adams, that Matt LaFleur's offense is going to scheme around a receiver, a guy that they think is capable, and I think that's in the absence of Devontae Adams, that's going to be Lazard.
Okay.
But I'm not like a huge believer in him as like
You're not sold.
no,
Not sold.
but I don't think like as a Packer fan, like I don't think you need to be. You know what I mean? Like that's not what he's on the team for.
To be the number one wide receiver.
Right. Or even a number two, really. It's like with Green Bay's offense, it's Devontae Adams, kind of like the Saints. It's Michael Thomas, and then everybody else gets the ball equally.
Yeah.
It's Devontae Adams in a pinch, and then everybody else.
Yeah. And Paul, you sounded like you were kind of sold on Lazard.
I am sold on Lazard, and I think I'm sold on him as a number 2. This past week, I mean, we really got to see him take the targets for a number 1 receiver, and I think that's why he had a humongous fantasy day. Mm-hmm. And if Devontae Adams does come back, will he have those same numbers and targets? Hell no. But at the same time, I think that when you do get a high-end defensive coordinator who's going to be able to manage Jones out of the backfield and then shut down Devontae Adams, you're going to need a guy. Because if your tight ends aren't performing the way they should have been, you're going to need a guy like Lazard, who's a big body possession receiver over the middle and probably on the sidelines for back shoulder fades, because I don't see another corner match in that 6'5" frame until maybe, I thought Minnesota would be able to do that, and they couldn't shut down Devontae Adams. And I know Lazard had a quiet day that day as well, but until Devontae Adams is 100%, I like Lazard. I'm starting Lazard this week, especially if Devontae Adams is a no-go.
Would you?
If he's a no-go, for sure. But I think another reason to be hesitant on Lazard is that Valdez-Scantling hasn't done anything yet.
Yeah, but
I agree with that.
He's
just, he was arguably the number 2 guy last year when Devontae Adams was healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot has maybe the relationship may have changed, and because of COVID, we really don't know what kind of training a relationship these guys were having over the break between the offseason. But the way the body language looked from Aaron Rodgers pointing at Lazard and him maybe making some changes in his game, he looked good, and I like the body language that Aaron was giving him after he caught the ball and made some big conversions. So that's why I'm a little bit more sold. I think he solidified himself, Lazard, as being the number 2 receiver on that.
So you have Lazard on one of your teams?
Yeah, I have him. I picked him up off of waivers, and this week I'm starting him.
Okay, so you're going to start him if he has another game. Are you going to do like Zach says and try to sell high?
I wouldn't sell him because Devontae Adams, he doesn't have the body frame that these other guys have. I think he's maybe 6'2", maybe 6'1", but the guy can fly. And if guys are going to get physical with him and he's not going to be able to last the season, it's one of those things where it's like Devontae Adams is playing, I'm going to start Lazard, because the way Aaron's playing this year, he wants to, bury the narrative of Love off the bench, and he's going to do everything he can to make sure that he has gaudy numbers with W's behind him.
Yeah, and the Packers are going to be in primetime again on Monday night. Falcons, Packers, Monday night. Then the next 3 games for the Packers are Falcons at home. They're at Tampa Bay and then at Houston. So easily can go 2-1, possibly 3-0.
Yeah, Falcons are going to play them tough on Monday, but I think that's in Atlanta.
That's at home.
That's in Green Bay.
Green Bay.
And it may be a little chilly up in Green Bay there at this time of year.
So. Yeah, there's already some weather up there. It's affecting the Indians and Yankees game right now. So yeah, it's already starting to get cold up there. Yeah. So you got a dome team in the elements. You always kind of go
Southern guys. Southern guys, except for Matt Ryan. He played at Boston College. But
yeah.
Julio played at Alabama. Southern guy.
Yeah, let's not talk about Julio.
Oh, you drafted him?
Yeah, dude.
I don't know why.
Yeah. Because he's Julio Jones.
I get it.
Yeah, I was at the end.
Matt Ryan's throwing the ball.
I was at the end of the first round. That's pretty much what I got.
That's who auto draft gives you,
Was that your auto draft?
I auto drafted one of them. One time it was auto draft. The other time I picked it. Then the big game for the Packers coming up, which will be fun, would be the Packers and Buccaneers on the October 18th.
Yeah, lots of points in that game.
Aaron Rodgers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they got Texans. So Zach, are you excited about your Green Bay Packers right now, sitting at 3-0? I mean,
yeah, I am
as excited as you can be.
Yeah, as excited as excited as I can be. I mean, I think they remind me a lot of the Texas Longhorns right now. And
what does that mean?
And like what they're good at and what they're not so good at. I
okay.
think it reminds me of them a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Except there's nobody on the Longhorns that's anywhere close to what Jair Alexander is in the grand scheme of the NFL. I love that dude. Jair Alexander is so good. That whole secondary, I think, for Green Bay is really good. It's just tackling. They miss a lot of tackles, just like the Texas Longhorns do. I think
tackling in the NFL has been kind of crappy this season.
We've seen a lot of bad ball.
Yeah.
So I think that and their lack of like run defense, I think is going to lose them some games. But I think they'll make the playoffs easily, and I think they'll make some noise.
Yeah. Speaking of the Texas Longhorns, Coach Herman was his hot seat saved on Saturday? Paul Rodriguez with that comeback.
I think it was saved due to the. I said this in the message.
What have you been in this?
Let me put it this.
Hot
I
seat.
went this far. I was watching the game with Papa Romeo,
Yeah.
and I went as far to create. I took a picture of Herman, and I added in big red bold letters "fired" when they were down by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I was like, he is going to get either fired or he is going to be on the hot seat. And then when Sam had a Heisman moment to bring them back, the whole 3 minutes and 13 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just thought that was a huge time for Sam and for the Longhorns and the offense. So, shout out to the offense coordinator, but also special teams, just like Dallas, getting the onside kick. Huge moment, but yeah, I think that saved him tremendously. I don't care if it was a COVID year or not.
Saved his job.
I think it saved it for this week. I mean,
For
if
this
you go play like this against TCU, yeah, see what happens.
Yeah, because 18-point favorites.
Bro, they were 17 against Texas Tech.
Well, I thought it was 18.
Oh, maybe it was 18. I thought you.
I think it was 17 and a half, and then
it climbed.
I think it climbed.
Yeah, people lost some money.
Yeah, and it was a shout out to my cousin Esau, Texas Tech guy.
Yeah.
So I got a text. I've got a group message with me and Esau, my cousin Jeremy.
Mm-hmm.
When it was that 3-minute mark or whatever, it was 15. There were 15 points.
The horns down.
No, my cousin Jeremy put something tech. This tech guy was like running. It was like some GIF, and then that rest happened, and then Esau was like, I knew as soon as the Aggie put something on this thread that something was going to happen. Yeah, put the hex
on it.
But yeah, I mean, it was a great win for the Longhorns. It was a terrible play for most of the game.
Yeah,
for them. The offense did well, obviously.
Really though, Sam didn't have a great game.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you look at some of his scores, like those weren't great throws.
Yeah, I mean, I was working, but as we were watching it, of course, me and Wes are at the restaurant, so we're watching the game.
Yeah.
We're like, hey, you go get that table, whatever. And watch this game for a little bit. But yeah, I agree. I mean, it was some more sloppy play, and then Sam.
Yeah, but I just think like you can win the Big 12 like that this year.
Yeah.
You'll probably win a lot of conferences like that, except the SEC.
I mean, like, kind of, really all of our teams just across the board. Like, you just never know what you're going to get with them. I mean, they could go and blow out TCU next week, and it wouldn't surprise me. Because I mean, I think we've seen what this team is capable of. I think we've seen where this team is deficient, and I mean, I don't know. No one knows what they're doing.
I think it's indicative of just Texas playing down to their competition or up to their competition, minus UTEP. I just think that's what Texas does. It's in their nature. I mean, and hopefully they can figure it out by the time the more challenging Big 12 teams. I mean, can't say that without Tech, but once Oklahoma gets rolling and the way Oklahoma lost, I mean, all you really need to do is run the ball.
Spencer Rattler might not be good.
No, I don't think he is good. I don't think Spencer Rattler. He's a redshirt freshman, unproven.
And I don't really say this about many people, but I would be okay if he just didn't succeed in football. I don't know if you saw the. I don't know. I didn't like him on that show, on that QB1 show.
Some Schadenfreude going on here.
So I don't. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't watch it.
I'm surprised that you didn't watch it, but
maybe that's why I didn't, because I don't like Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, like just him on watching Tate Martell's season of that show and watching Spencer Rattler, like Tate was almost like funny. Like he was like such a douche. It was funny that like kind of like Johnny Manziel, where like you kind of want to see him succeed just because it's funny. But like Spencer Rattler just seems like a jerk. Like I don't know. It was very like off-putting his season. Maybe you could like catch a couple episodes, but it was like very off-putting. And then
to me, he's just overhyped. I mean, 24/7 had him just like everywhere, all over the place. He was going to be the next, big guy at Oklahoma. He was going to come in as a freshman and just make records. And I'm just like, dude, I know Kansas State beat Oklahoma last year too. I get that, but Spencer Rattler, the
performance from the
good.
Quarterback,
he just doesn't look. He doesn't look polished.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing too. I think when you have that type of hype as well, and you come across as a kind of a DB a little bit, then people they're gonna be gunning for you.
Yeah, and you're gonna be examined.
They're gonna,
I think
step up.
I think too. I think this is kind of like, I don't know if this makes sense, but it makes sense to me. I don't think if Spencer Rattler like had the confidence or had the like, I don't know, awareness that he was gonna be as good as he thought he was gonna be, I don't think he would have gone to Oklahoma. Because you know what's at Oklahoma, and you know what's. I don't remember if Jalen Hurt, what's his name, was already there. Was already going to go there.
Hurts.
Yeah, was already going to go there when he committed. But like, even if not, like
Rattler was there last year with him because he's redshirted last year.
Right. So like when he signed to OU, I don't know if he already knew that he was going to be there. But like, especially at a school like that, like, I feel like if you're one of those top guys, especially now, you're going somewhere where you're going to play as a freshman. I think we've seen that trend.
Yeah.
Where like, it's almost, you almost don't see those top like 3 go to the Bamas, the Clemsons anymore because they know they're not going to play. And they're like, and the recruiting and stuff in camp circuit is so good now that those guys can play as soon as they step foot on campus.
Right.
So I think going to Oklahoma is basically saying, I'm not going to play my freshman year.
Yeah, I think Spencer was just drinking the Kool-Aid that Lincoln Riley was serving up. He just said, look, I made Baker a Heisman. I made Kyler a Heisman. I'm going to make Jalen a Heisman, and I'm going to make you a Heisman.
But I think
he just got caught up in the Kool-Aid. That's it.
Like, I think if you're Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence coming out of high school, instead of saying like, if Lincoln Riley is saying, I'm going to make you a Heisman.
Right.
Trevor Lawrence is like, well, I'm already a Heisman. I'm going to go somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Like, I not like I don't need you, but
So you're putting this on Lincoln Riley?
Almost. No, I don't know.
Because Jalen Hurts brought in Lincoln Riley. Bob Stoops brought in the other 2 before him. So that's one thing to consider.
I'm just saying, like I don't think if Spencer Rattler was better, I don't think he'd be at OU.
Like better than he is right now.
Yeah.
So wasn't he a 5-star?
Yeah, he's a high rated kid, but I think everybody's banking on his ceiling. And then what I'm trying to say is, this guy isn't a sophomore, redshirt sophomore. I mean, this guy's only in his second year, first year, playing against D1 talent. And look, if you're going to be Oklahoma, just like Texas, everybody's going to be gunning for you because you're the team who's always in the college playoff every year that's been in existence.
And maybe that's what I'm saying is like the fact that he's 2 years into college and not there yet is where he's different than some of the other top tier guys, where they're 1 year in and that good, or 2 years in and that much better. So where Spencer's been there for 2 years, he's set behind someone and he's still not.
Or
he just had a bad game.
Or didn't take the coaching.
Or he just had a bad game.
He could have maybe he could have had a bad game. Or
because when he lights up Texas, if he lights up Texas, everybody's gonna be like, oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah. Or he played himself.
Just saying.
You might have played yourself.
Yeah, I'm just not a Spencer Rattler fan.
So I'm not a fan either. And I like Oklahoma.
I do too. Like I think it's good for
Steven
football.
Angiano's going to cut off the feed.
Steven, I know he's already. Shout out to Steven Angiano. Shout out to Caesar Lucero. Cesar.
Oh really? My dad?
Yeah, he's on here, dude. Man, he's all up on here. He says Herman will be on the hot seat every game this year. Your dad's also saying sloppy play will permeate all of football at all levels. Mainly due to the lack of spring summer drills.
I think.
Yeah, he's all over it, man. Shout out to.
I think Oklahoma's one of those schools though that's like it's good for football when they're good. Like I think it's good that
every school is.
No, like
it's not good for football when who's good.
Like if Tech's good, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's true.
If West Virginia is good, it doesn't matter. If Georgia Tech is good, it doesn't matter.
If Baylor's good, it doesn't matter.
Now that Miami's goodish again, like that's exciting.
Goodish.
Now that like if Florida, like I wish Florida State was good, because Florida State is always going to be on TV when they play, like when they play Miami or whenever they have all these like old timey rivalry games. They're always going to be on TV, but those games aren't competitive anymore because those rivalries are lopsided because teams aren't good anymore. So I think it's those like classic teams like that. It's just good for it's good for college football.
Yeah, whatever. I'm with you, Steven. Yeah, and I'm not OU, dude. Yeah, and I'm not happy when they're good. They're good every year.
They're not that good every year because they get dumped in the first round of the playoffs. They're just good in the Big 12,
which is good.
Okay.
All right.
I disagree. But
Like
that's
it's
fine.
good for football when Texas and OU are both good and they play each other and it's a fun game.
Okay.
And
It has
and if Texas wins in Chris's book,
Then it's even better. But
Yeah.
like it hasn't. It's not cool when Texas has sucked and they play OU on prime time and Saturday morning and you wake up to watch. Everybody wakes up to watch the Red River Shootout, and it's not a fun game.
It's a Red River rivalry.
it should be the shootout. But yeah, it should be the shootout.
And
No one wants to watch the Red River shutout.
And it shouldn't be at 11 a.m. anymore. Like, let's
True
stop
story.
that.
True story.
Let's stop that 11 a.m., dude.
Have you ever been?
No.
Oh, it's hot, dude.
11 a.m., dude.
No, thank you. It needs to be a night game, prime time.
Well, I mean, they don't have the lighting there. I think that's what
Right.
why they don't have the
Let's go
the
play.
night
Go
game.
play in Frisco.
Go play at the Cowboys Stadium. It's right down the road.
Jerry ain't gonna let that happen.
But
play in
that's
Frisco.
not the point. The point is the conjunction with the state fair and
Well, there is no state fair this year.
True.
yeah. Are they? Have they said where they're going to play that game this year?
I'm pretty sure at
I
the.
would think.
It's still at the old.
I
Cotton
think
Bowl?
so. I don't know. No, you know what? I think it might be different. We're gonna
I
have to
think
look
it
that
might
up.
be different too. I don't know.
Might have to look that up. But yeah, I mean, there is no state fair. So UT's got TCU this week, and shout out to Snoop. Snoop, he said he's gonna go to the game Saturday.
Yeah,
I
it's
kinda
at
wanna-
11. It's at 11.
I
That's
kind of
11
want to
kid.
go. You think we get tickets?
You can find them.
You gotta ask old boy.
I think we're gonna. Well, I mean, I'll pay for them. I'll buy some tickets. You think I can find some tickets?
Oh, you can find them.
Yeah,
online
you're gonna
for sure.
find them.
For real?
I don't know how
You
much you'll
probably
pay for them.
find them on the floor.
You don't think they're sold out?
No,
Really?
no.
Think they're expensive?
I don't know about what's it like $100 a ticket? No, they're probably under $100.
Steven says it's gonna be still at the Cotton Bowl. Thank you, Steven. Steven Angiana. $100.
Yeah, or less.
I'll see. Because I kind of want to go. I mean, there'll be like one of the only chances for me to go to a game this year. So because I think a lot of their games are going to be later. Because I'll be working Saturday evenings. So it's 11 a.m. kick, right? TCU.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the next two Saturdays are 11 a.m. kicks for the Longhorns. So at this point right now, do you still believe the Texas Longhorns are favored to win the Big 12? Zach Lucero.
I think so.
Yeah.
Shoot, maybe Baylor though.
Paul.
I need to see them play well, and I mean play well for 4 quarters in every phase of the game, because they I don't really count UTEP. I'm just not going to count that. And against what Houston Baptist did to Texas Tech at home in Lubbock, and I saw what I saw last week. I mean, mess around and play with K-State like that. Mess around and see what happens.
That's true. All right, Recon Athlete, episode 112. Chris Sanchez, Paul Rodriguez, Zach Lucero. Shout out to Snoop Daniel. Shout out to everybody on our watch party. Lots of football. Cowboys are questionable. Longhorns are kind of questionable too. I'm excited to see what the Longhorns have this weekend, but if they lost to TCU, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, agreed.
I wouldn't be surprised. Bless you.
But if they beat TCU, you wouldn't be surprised either. It's
This is kind of weird, dude. They're such a
So lowered expectations.
cautiously optimistic.
Cautiously optimistic. I hate that. But yeah, same with the Cowboys. Terrible. All right, the Major League Baseball playoffs. Y'all know those are happening right now?
I heard something about that.
Did you?
I just heard.
They
Don't they got COVID in baseball?
I mean, they got COVID in the Steelers.
They're
and
bubbled now, right?
Titans.
And Titans, there you go.
They're
the
bubbled
Titans.
now, right? Baseball.
Are they playing that game Monday night before we go to baseball? Let's split.
There's speculation that it's
Because it's postponed for sure.
It's postponed. It's either going to be Monday night or Tuesday night. They're not sure yet. As who knows what kind of deal ESPN has with the NFL. Like, we can't have any competitor on Monday night unless it's on ESPN, and CBS owns the rights to that game. So,
Oh, really?
yeah, that's why. Like CBS, if it was me, if I was CBS, I would say, look, we're going to run this game on Monday at 4:00 on CBS Sports Network, and make it like an mid-afternoon game right before the kick for Monday Night Football, and just get all those ratings. Everybody takes a half day work, go to the bar, go to the pub, get you a sports bar, just watch football from 4 till 10:30 at night.
But why CBS Sports Network?
Because CBS owns the rights, and who knows what CBS programming has during the day? Some kind of soap operas, some kind of
They
game
got
shows.
nothing. 4:00.
Bro, I don't know.
They got nothing.
They probably got some
They got
Steve Harvey show.
They got Steve Harvey.
Kelly Clarkson
or they
show.
got,
I don't know.
you know, they got Ricky Lake.
Whatever
or
that daytime TV is,
Phil
that schedule
Donahue.
can't be interrupted. I'm
They-
assuming.
They got Phil Donahue
But it would be awesome if you could put that game at 4:00 on CBS
and Jenny Jones.
and just let it run. That would be awesome.
Do you know who any of those people are?
Nope.
Jenny Jones, Ricky Lake.
Jerry Jones.
Jenny Jones.
Yeah. Wasn't it Jenny Jones?
I don't know.
Jenny Jones?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe.
Ricky Lake, Phil Donahue.
I know that one.
Ricky Martin.
Okay.
Philip Lindsay.
So yeah, so we'll so we'll see we'll see what happens with that game. You know, and I think and there's a lot of fantasy owners that are kind of because I had the Titans defense last week or I don't know one of my leagues.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean I dropped them anyways, but you know like there's a lot of like people that are kind of like okay well what do I do? You know, I got Steelers on my team, I got Titans on my team. Are they going to play? Are they not going to play? Like, what's going to happen?
Whoever had COVID, are they going to play? Like, we don't even know who had it.
Yeah.
And that's like, I mean, I know there was only like a few players for the Titans, like 3 or 4, but I mean, who were they? Are they going to play? Are they going to be quarantined for 14 days? What's going to happen? I mean,
Deontay Foreman just signed with them, and then they got COVID.
Was it him?
whoa.
Maybe.
Was that a Bill Belichick?
Bill Belichick
Or a sabotage?
No,
Sending in the mononucleosis?
Yeah,
sending in the
Deontay
COVID.
Foreman, shout out Texas Longhorn.
Yeah.
Dude, Devin Duvernay on Monday, bro.
Oh, that was
Dude.
good. That was dope.
That was sick.
I almost made him my captain on my
That would have been so
DraftKings.
random. That would have been so random.
It would
But
have been.
I almost made him my captain just to
just cause, just because it's 25 cents.
yeah. You know.
Okay, that means you did get with Snoop about the
I have
the
it.
money.
I have it. I have $10 on there, but I haven't done anything yet.
On DraftKings?
Yeah. I haven't
Hashtag
done
no
anything
ads.
yet. I've done it. I've had it on
And
there
if
for.
y'all want a sponsor, y'all just let us know.
I've had it on there for 2 weeks, but I haven't spent it yet.
And spunt it. All right, Major League Baseball. The Houston Astros have already moved on
right?
from the wild card round to the divisional round before the Brewers and Dodgers have even played a game yet.
How?
They played yesterday and today.
I saw an
So there were two-
advertisement on Sunday on Fox when I was watching the Dallas game. Oh, Houston's playing. I'm like, baseball's still going on?
Yeah.
So that's how I got my notification.
Yeah, so Houston, they swept the Twins, who Minnesota Twins now have an 18-game losing streak in the postseason. They've lost
Sucks for them.
18 straight games, and it's been well documented if you've been watching the Major League Baseball playoffs. I have. I don't think anybody else has, so that's why I'm just going to talk about it. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention. I know, yeah.
I don't mind listening to you talk.
But, yeah, so the Astros took care of business yesterday and today, 4-1 yesterday, 3-1 today. Had a great combination of pitchers.
Did Brad Lidge?
No Brad Lidge. It's Ryan Presley now.
No lights out Lidge?
No, not anymore.
I heard some other Houston Astro retired. Some guy he used to play with Corpus. Tall guy. He was an outfielder.
Randy Johnson.
That's close. He looked like Randy Johnson.
Carlos Beltran.
Starts with an L, I think.
Lance Bell.
No, that's
Or Lance
Lance
Berkman.
Berkman.
no, that's not it. Anyways,
Lance Stevenson.
some guy. He was an Astro. He retired. That's what I heard.
Lance Armstrong.
I didn't see. I didn't see that. I don't know. Had great pitching combination. I think it was 4 innings out of Zach Greinke. Is that your cousin? Y'all related?
No, that dude
Zach's-
for UAB. Though.
I was gonna
That's my
say,
cousin.
yeah. Is that your primo from UAB or what?
Yeah, that's my boy.
What's
I
his
mean,
name?
he was throwing dimes. Something like Brian Lucero, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. But Greinke and
Shout out cousin Brian.
Framber Alvarez yesterday combined for combined for a win. Today it was, let me see if I can remember it without looking at it. Today it was Jose Urquidy, Brooks Lane or
Koepka?
something like that, and then there was Presley, Ryan Presley. So the Twins are only able to score 2 runs in 2 games. Astros did just enough to win the ball game. So now they're going to move on, play the winner. I believe, they're going to play the winner of the White Sox and the A's. A's and White Sox are going to go to a game 3 tomorrow. The White Sox won yesterday's game. A's won today's game 5-3. So they're going to go on to a game 3 tomorrow. Yeah, the Brewers and Dodgers don't play till 9:08 p.m. our time. It's going to be game 1. Right now, Indians are beating the Yankees 4-1 in the top of the 4th. Masahiro Tanaka, who's got one of the best ERAs in postseason history, getting touched up a little bit about by the Indians. But I think that's a lot due to what's going on in the weather-wise up there. I don't know if y'all saw, probably not. But they got like a huge cold front coming in, and the flag, like, they had those 30-foot flags, out in the outfield. The thing was just like straight.
Is he like a Gundam? Maximo, like
Masahiro Tanaka?
Yeah, is he like a Gundam, like from that TV cartoon, like Gundam Wing? That anime Gundam?
No, but he is.
He's Japanese.
Bro,
From
that's
Japan, yeah.
That's crazy.
But yeah, he's got one of the best ERAs in Major League Baseball history. But the conditions in Cleveland right now are not ideal. They're not ideal for especially a split finger pitcher like him.
Oh, so he's getting touched up, you said?
Yeah. So Indians 4, Yankees 1 right now, top of the 4th. Yankees took care of business yesterday against Shane Bieber, who's
Justin Bieber's dad.
Justin Bieber's dad.
Justin Bieber's primo.
His cousin led them. I think he led the American League in strikeouts this year. And everybody was hyped about that game, but the Yankees ended up like blowing him up. Aaron Judge had a 2-run shot in the first inning, and then they went on to score 12 runs. Beat the Indians 12-3. So we'll see what happens in that series. The Rays also moved on. They beat the Blue Jays 8-2. So the Rays and the Rays and the Astros have already moved on to the divisional series, which the wild card series was best out of 3. Divisional series is going to be best out of 5.
He put some money down. Tampa Bay, Buster Olney, calling it prior to the season starting.
Well, yeah,
World Series.
they were they had the number 1 ranking in the American League. So, and the Houston Astros fans, me and myself included, excited that they're moving on to divisional series. The A's owned them this year, though. I'm going to be pulling for the White Sox because the A's were just,
That's who they play next.
Possibly.
Okay.
If the A's win, then that's who they would play. But yeah, the A's just owned the Astros, so you would pull in for them. St. Louis and San Diego played their game 1 today. St. Louis 7, Padres 4, and like I said, and the Marlins, they beat the Cubs 5-1, so the Marlins up 1-0 in that series, which is kind of surprising. Reds and Braves were today as well. Braves win 1-0 in 13. Game 2 is tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Game 2 for the Marlins and Cubs is tomorrow at 1 o'clock, 1:08. Game 3 for the White Sox and Athletics is tomorrow at 2:10. Game 2 for the Cardinals, Padres, 4:08. And Game 3, if necessary, Yankees, Indians will be tomorrow at 6:08. And then Game 2 of Brewers, Dodgers, which will definitely be necessary, will be tomorrow at 9:08 p.m. And I think what we've seen so far, besides the Marlins, is if you've got some postseason experience, postseason baseball is much different than regular season baseball. So, even in the era of COVID-19.
Dude, that's a lot of baseball.
What?
For tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. No, they had as many games today. I mean, they're playing. They're trying to get it. They're not like the NBA where they're going to
draw it all out.
Yeah. Because, Lakers Heat are playing right now. I don't know what the score is. Let me see if I can. But yeah, they're playing that 7-game series over 2 weeks.
34-38 Lakers. 9:19 left in the second.
Which is ridiculous. I mean, it's like just keep playing. Like, why do you take 3 days off between games? That's what they're going to be doing next week. And the Major League Baseball is just trying to get this over with without another.
They're just trying to get that chip out. Just somebody claim it and let's go home.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Hunter Pence was that Astro who just retired.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Was he playing for Corpus?
He started there because I remember when I was in.
He started
back
there.
in the day,
And
like
he
in
went to-
07, he was playing for Corpus.
He played for Round Rock.
Yeah,
Who did
he
he
kind of
with?
came up that way.
Who was he with when he retired? Was he back with the Astros?
I think he was at the Giants.
I was about to say, I bet he's been at the Giants for a while, right?
Maybe. I think he was.
Didn't he win a ring with the with San Francisco?
Yeah.
Is that what you? That was yeah. That's the Giants.
I think he was back with them.
I got confused with New York.
I think he was back with them. But Brewers Dodgers should be pretty good. Maybe Dodgers should take that one. The Cardinals beating the Padres, showing that the playoff teams. The only thing that's kind of surprising was Marlins over the Cubs 5-1. It was just a big 7th inning for the Marlins that put them over the top. And the Astros, taking care of business with the Twins. I mean, to me, it's like, okay, if you got some postseason baseball under your belt in the past few years, you're gonna have an advantage. It's gonna be different. So we'll see how this plays out. Major League Baseball is still happening. I'm watching. Not sure if anybody else is because nobody's.
Major League Baseball. You got one of us. That's all you need.
NBA Finals going on right now. Miami, LA.
Who are you going for?
Miami, of course.
Yeah,
Paul,
me too.
same. Yeah, same.
Yeah, I mean, right?
I thought it was funny though. That
You go for the underdog. Everybody likes the underdog.
Tyler Hero in that interview, he was like, I still remember everyone drafted before me. Like he was drafted like 13.
Hey, Tom Brady.
And I was like, where did you think you were gonna get drafted?
I know, right? Like one.
Yeah.
Hey, come on, Tyler Hero. Whatever, dude.
Just trying to copy all the other interviews he hears.
Whatever.
He's like 20, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I heard he was schmoozing with one of the Lakers' exes. That's what I was.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, he was He's apparently Kuzma's ex-girlfriend and Tyler Hero hooked up after they broke off.
Who's Kuzma? Ex-girlfriend.
I don't know, some baddie that's probably running with the Ballers.
Oh, really?
She's a baddie though.
It's like that Major League scene. Seen the Major League. He's like, hey.
How'd you bring this back to baseball?
He's like,
No, I don't
you
know.
remember that?
I remember the movie, but I don't
The
know
batter
this.
comes in and the catcher's like, hey, how's your wife and my kids? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Get in their head. So, Zach, you going for Miami?
Yeah.
Right.
Some people are saying
Is
like
it-
Miami
is it-
5.
Is it just because they're the underdog,
I bet it
or
goes
is
seven.
it, or is it,
goes 7.
is it because they're underdog, or is it because we don't like LeBron James? Like, I like LeBron James.
So
I'm just going for the underdog. I like LeBron James.
my player on NBA 2K got drafted by the Jazz, and then Rudy Gobert got hurt, so I demanded a trade, and they traded me to the Heat. So I've been a Heat fan for a while now.
Rudy Gobert got hurt because of COVID.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny actually because he got hurt in the game too.
Whatever, Wes. This is Astros cheating again.
So what?
They're not cheating, bro. They're not cheating.
He's a little salty because Dallas lost on Monday.
Oh, the Stars.
The Stars, yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to the Stars, though. I mean, they
They
made
win,
it.
man. They made a game.
Heck of a run. He said Wes is going for the Heat as well. He also said best line ever. How your wife and my kids. But yeah. I mean, the Heat. I just think it'd be great to see like LeBron lose to his old team. You know,
Hell
like,
yeah.
and not in a bad way. You know, just because like. You know, just it's a whole underdog thing for me. You know, I don't hate LeBron James. I got no, ill feelings towards him or anything. I think he's like one of the top, 3 basketball players of all time.
Mm-hmm.
He does great things off the court. Works hard. He's a great leader. I just think it would be really cool to see, the team play of the Miami Heat because they've been.
That's why they
there's not one like star that's really sticks out for the Heat.
Jimmy Butler.
I mean, Butler, kind of, but Tyler Hero will step up.
Kendrick Nunn stepped up all the regular season.
Duncan Robinson kind of does something every now and then. The dude named Dab or whatever his name is, Bam. Bam steps up. Also, Wes says I'll destroy Zach in NBA 2K. So there's a challenge there.
Words.
Challenge
yeah,
there.
because Wes is 7'1", so his fingers touch all the buttons at once.
Is he 7'1"?
No. But yeah, I'm pulling. I'm also Eric Spoelstra for some reason. I don't know. I'm pulling for him a little bit, the coach, just because he's done a great job. I mean, right?
Obviously
to get them where they're at. I just think it's a great story if the Heat were able to win this thing. I don't think they will.
I think they're contractually obligated to go 7 games. So
they probably will go, but I think the Heat win it.
Really?
I'm willing to even put low cash on it.
Really?
Yep.
Bet him, Chris.
I owe him Menudo already.
Let's go double or nothing on Menudo.
That's such a long time to wait.
Then I don't get anything if I win.
Oh yeah. Okay. What are we gonna win? What are we gonna
Whatever
bet
you
then?
like. It's still gonna be a long time from now.
Menudo for a month.
We'll do Menudo. Oh, well, let's just do something different then. What's something that you like?
He needs a new laptop.
I mean, look at me. Everything. Everything, Chris. salad to pizza to shrimp to drinks to everything.
What do you want? I mean, I said menudo last time.
A bottle.
No, let's do.
So now I got to pull for the Lakers. Great.
Yeah, that's why I was like, no, this isn't really gonna work.
That's fine. That's okay.
Let's do.
So now if the Lakers win, I'll be like, oh, I got something.
Yeah, but I don't really want to put you in that position.
Who cares?
Let me think about it.
Why? No, man, because we're doing the one. We're in one game already, or game one already. So we need to make the play. We need to make the bet.
Okay. Via 313.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Word. Hell yeah. Oh yeah. Nice. No hashtag no ads.
If you want to, if you want to,
you can email Paul
at paul.rodriguez@reconathlete.com.
Okay. All right. Have you had via 313?
Nope.
What?
What is that?
What?
Pizza, dog. Detroit style.
Dude.
Oh, no, I never had that.
All right,
Oh my God, change your life.
All right, yeah. Hang on, it says Kreitz Barbecue.
Hey, go down there and tell them we sent you.
Yeah, shout out to Kreitz Market and Texas Point Outdoors. Who, by the way, they put some new gear out there, some new merch on there. It was a big old fishing hat.
Dude, I like that.
Did you like it?
I know when I first saw it, I'm like, how can I get my logo on there?
Yeah. Yeah. Mr. Lucero says Menudo, count me in. Is he a Menudo fan?
Yeah, him and my sister.
For real?
Really?
Yeah.
It is so good.
It is good.
So good. All right. And we're expecting the Sarge to call, or do you want to make him? Do you want to call?
Let me see if we can get him on the line.
Okay, you get him on the line. All right. So coming up on
9 o'clock.
Thursday games. It's tomorrow, October 1st. We're already in October.
Right.
My birthday's on Sunday.
Is it really?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I'm doing a show on Saturday.
Are we gonna do something like Sunday night, or?
I'm supposed to go have dinner with my family on Sunday night, but
Didn't I
some
see you
plumbing
last?
issues.
Didn't I see? What do
Yeah,
you mean?
that was my birthday. Actually, I think it was.
Yeah, I
Last
saw
year
you
at the,
at the domain.
Yeah,
That's
that's crazy. Yeah, it's been a year.
What do you mean plumbing issues?
Yeah, there's some plumbing issues going on in my house right now. Apparently.
Yeah, like with actual plumbing
Yeah.
stuff, or I thought
Yeah.
you meant like there was some. I thought you were having stomach issues or anything.
Yeah, my parents had to relocate to a
What?
hotel. Yeah.
For real?
Yeah,
Yeah,
not great.
Dang, that sucks. So tomorrow's games: Thursday night, Travis at Bastrop, McNeil at Pflugerville. That'd be a good one. Bowie at Stony Point, Hendricks. These are a lot of Thursday night games, which I heard about on Light the Tower. Shout out Snoop Daniel, Craig Way, and who's the other dude that's on that team? On that?
Jeff Howe.
Jeff Howe. Hendrickson at Colleen, Vandergrift at Colleen Ellison, Veterans Memorial at Glenn, San Antonio team, Lehman at Navarro, Crockett at Johnson, which is the Buda, Lake Travis at Westwood. Let's go, Wood. Shout out to RJ Martinez, who just committed to
Northern Arizona.
Is that what that was?
That was a couple months ago.
Was it a couple months ago?
Yeah.
You just posted that, though.
That was on the story. The original
That was on the
post
story.
was
Okay.
a few
Couple
months ago.
All right, that's gonna be on KBVO. So I'll see if I can try to put a game TV on up at the restaurant. That's gonna be Thursday night. A lot of Thursday night games. Friday night games. Alice, shout out to the Coyotes at Wimberley. LBJ at Manor. Game of the night.
Not according to Dave Campbell's.
Really?
Yeah.
Northeast at Royale. Who's Royal?
Royals out of it's outside of Houston.
Royale with cheese.
Hendricks, I think it's like Hendricks, Texas, or something like that.
Harker Heights at Eastview, Leander at Vista Ridge, Cedar Creek at Aikens, Seguin at New Braunfels, Liberty Hill at Del Valle, Weiss at Rudder, Marble Falls at Elgin, A&M Consolidated at Rouse. A lot of games. Belton at Round Rock, Coppers Cove at Georgetown, hashtag EFND, Cedar Park at Cedar Ridge, Battle of the Cedars, Anderson at McCallum, Austin High at Conley, Westlake at Midway. That'd be pretty good. Waco at Hutto, and as my dad would say, Hutto. Dripping Springs at Hayes, and of course, San Marcos at Lockhart, 7:30 p.m.
That's the Dave Campbell's game of the week.
What?
Yes.
Shout out to the Sarge. What up, Sarge?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Pretty good, man.
Sarge, thank you for joining us this evening. Saw you out there at Lockhart's practice. What'd you think of Lockhart getting prepped up for the Rattlers coming up this Friday?
Well, I tell you what. First, let me thank y'all for having me on the air with y'all guys, and y'all done an amazing job. But being out there at practice day, man, these guys are pumped up and ready to renew the rivalry between Lockhart and San Marcos. Of course, this is going to be their 75th meeting, and San Marcos holds the edge when it comes to head-to-head in the series. I think it's like 42-30, and with 2 ties. And within those 74 games that they've had, 43 of those have been shutouts.
And Sarge, we got to see the broadcast on Lion Pride Sports Broadcast, and also, as well as your website, lionpridesportsbroadcast.com. As always, we are carrying those links as well at Recon Athlete. So if any of the communities would love to watch that game, you could find us or find those links there on the website. But we got to see Lockhart against a first-year program last week against Buda Johnson. Who do you think is going to be the most impactful player for Lockhart against the Rattlers in the matchup Friday night?
Well, honestly, it's going to have to be Jackie Edwards, Jordan Garcia, and Robert Branch, and a couple of other players on the team. But those 3 right there are going to have to be the most impactful ones. For this past Friday night, Jackie Edwards went 11 for 25 for 96 yards passing, but he rushed for 89 yards and a touchdown on 14 rushes. But it seemed like all night the timing was off, a little bit off between the receivers and the quarterback. But there was a lot of drop passes that really could have turned things around in that ball game. It was a great ball game, and hats off to Buda Johnson. They did an outstanding job, and they're going to be a force to reckon with for the rest of this year and going into next year because they don't have not one senior on the team.
It was a difficult loss for Lockhart to kind of go for game 1, but going into game 2, knowing the history of this rivalry for these two teams and being so closely geographically related, what was Coach Mabus's message to the young men as they kind of start getting prepped up for walkthroughs for Friday night?
The main message that I got was, to get his team prepared for San Marcos, which is, a big rivalry. It dates back all the way to 1909. And since 1956, they have met 22 times, and Lockhart's only won 1 game in that 22 game span. It's just getting these guys ready, forgetting about last week and moving on forward to a big rivalry game where, it's like you said, it's Dave Campbell's game of the week. And if you get named game of the week by Dave Campbell's, it's something big between these two towns.
I totally agree, Sarge. Just one more thing, let everybody know where they can find you and where everybody can watch the game this Friday.
Oh, yeah, they can watch the game this Friday on the Lions Pride Sports Broadcast Facebook page, or they could go to LionsPrideSportsBroadcast.com and catch it on the website, and as well as catch it on the Recon Athlete website as well also. And I do want to give y'all guys a big shout-out for sharing the website, because this past Friday, man, I had the most viewers that I've ever had in my 7 years of broadcasting, which was over 6,500 viewers that watched the game live between Lockhart and Buda. And with San Marcos and Lockhart being a big rivalry, I expect that number to be around 8,000 to 9,000 this week.
Big numbers for that community, Sarge. I really appreciate your time tonight. What are your final thoughts to leave with the fans for Lockhart and San Marcos as we get prepped up?
I tell you what, there's not really to say about Lockhart and San Marcos, because us old school cats that know about Lockhart and San Marcos are probably telling these young ones right now, like, hey, this is a rivalry game, and this, you could throw the records out the window. I know it's only the second game of the year. Both teams are coming in 0-1, so really you're out there. Someone's got to go. So it's going to be an exciting game, and we look forward to calling that game. And I'm really looking forward to Friday night.
Ladies and gentlemen, Emilio the Sarge Juarez, owner of the Lion Pride Sports Broadcasting. Get at him on all social media platforms as well as his website if y'all want to watch the game on Friday night. Sarge, we appreciate your time.
All right. Thank you for having me on, and, love what y'all do at Recon Athlete. Keep it going.
Thanks, Sarge.
All right. Shout out to Sarge joining us live. Of course, San Marcos at Lockhart, 7:30 p.m. You can catch it at reconathlete.com, Lions Pride Sports Broadcast as well on all platforms. And there's going to be a lot of football action on Friday night. Vandergrift lost last week. Zach, who do they have this week? Colleen Ellison? Yeah, the Eagles.
That game is at UMHB as well, so get to play in a cool stadium. That'll be fun.
Really?
Yeah.
That'll be fun to do for like a an early season matchup. Normally, you don't do stuff like that until playoffs or unless you live in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So, but the Cedar Park game, I think that game went like a lot of people would have expected it to go.
Mm-hmm.
I think you almost could put more stock into the fact that Vandergrift played them so close for so long. I think the questions that you had coming into the season are the questions that you would speculate to have coming into the season are exactly the questions. It's Ryan back. You don't know much about him. I think he's a good runner with the football. I think that was promising to see. The defense is going to look a little bit different. I do think their defense is better than their offense, but their defense isn't the defense of like years past. Granted, 21 points to a Cedar Park team that's going to be pretty good is nothing to sneeze at. But it's just kind of figuring out the offense. They have a bunch of injuries. Caleb Lewis is out. What's his name? Landon Thomason is out, who played offensive line last year and probably would have contributed on catching passes this year at tight end. He's out for a while.
Landon Donovan?
Yeah, his cousin.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just going to be a little bit of a different season, I think, for Vandergrift fans. I think their district is incredibly tough. I think in a district that is bringing back a lot of stars, they aren't bringing back the majority of their stars. So I think it's going to be a tough season. But I mean, if there's anyone that can turn lemons into lemonade, it's Coach Sanders.
Yeah, that's true.
What I really was taken away from that game was just how low scoring it was, and I think that was something that I kind of anticipated. But for Vandergrift to just give up only 21 points, I thought was a tremendous feat by that defense for such a high potent offense. I mean, those guys have weapons at every level, and especially when Ryder Hernandez, excuse me, I had it right the first time, is the guy pulling the trigger back there with all of his experience. And I think especially with his fleet of foot and being able to make decisions on the fly, I think is imperative for them to kind of keep him at bay. I think was a really good sign for them going in, especially with the district. But I mean, this weekend also with Colleen Ellison, it's going to be a difficult, challenging game. But I think Coach Sanders knew that, getting this schedule prepped so that when they do get to their new district, because of how difficult it be, they'll be primed to go.
You know, and I think like at a base level, Vandergrift is still a good team. I mean, that's a good Cedar Park team, and that game was 0-0 in the first, like through the first quarter. So I think that's telling you, like, adjustments aside, like scheming aside, like when it comes to just
good on good,
like regular week-long game plan, they're just as good as Cedar Park.
Agreed.
So I would be cautiously optimistic about Vandergrift. But I do think Logan Arnold looks really good at safety. Bowen Lewis looks like he put on some good weight. He still has his speed. So I think it'll take him a little bit to get like back to form.
How did Caleb Sanders look?
You know,
Could they get hit? Could they get him the ball? That's kind of what my
they did. I mean, he caught the touchdown. He caught the only touchdown of the game. I do think he's going to be a focal point of the offense. Yeah. But someone I'm excited to watch is Taylor Dumar. He's probably the most experienced receiver coming back from last year, and as like a 5'6" kind of speed guy. That's not something that you would normally like.
Deuce Vaughn style.
Well, not even then, because Deuce Vaughn was a running back, you know, when he was a little bit of a bigger kid.
Trying to give him a little credit.
But I mean, it's not something that you would normally like scheme around as a guy like that. But they're very creative in the way they get him the ball, so I think he's going to be fun to watch this year. Taylor Dumar.
Nice. So there seems to be a lot of rivalry games this Friday night. So we got Taco Shack Bowl going on. Is it still called Taco Shack Bowl?
As far as I know, yeah.
Yeah. Taco Shack Bowl happening in Anderson and McAllen, which is kind of weird because it was always a Thursday night game.
First game of the year in Austin.
First game of the year. So I think maybe it's lost a little luster. You got LBJ and Manor, big rivalry game. Of course, San Marcos and Lockhart that we've talked about. Would you consider Leander and Vista Ridge a rivalry game?
Not this
More
year.
of a Leander.
I think Kyle Brown is going to put up another 7 touchdown passes like he did last week.
I think this, like the whole COVID thing is making for some really cool non-district matchups.
Yeah.
Like a lot of matchups that you would normally never ever see.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't see Lake Travis play Cedar Ridge. You wouldn't see Cedar Park play Westlake. Like I think it's just out of necessity. We're seeing more like local matchups, and I think that's bringing back some like old timey rivalries back when they were like the only schools around, and I think it's fun for students as well to play their friend's team that they never would get the chance to play.
Yeah, I mean, even Thursday night, I would consider Bowie and Stony Point a more recent rivalry game.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Bowie, Stony Point. I mean, I don't know how many times they met in the playoffs, but a big game. And then, of course, the battle of what is it? Is it Highway 21? Dripping Springs and Hayes?
I don't know if it's 21.
One of them. No, it's not 21. That's Dripping Springs and Wimberley.
Oh, you're talking about 97.
967.
1431.
Yeah.
1787.
78660.
5-6.
Yep.
I don't know.
I just called it the Battle of Hayes County.
Dripping Springs and Hayes. Yeah. So yeah, there's quite a few rivalry games.
I mean, Dripping Springs was coming off that big W against number 7 Kerrville last week.
Yeah.
I thought that was a huge get for Dripping Springs.
Mm-hmm.
Another team I also wanted to shout out was Liberty Hill dominating Killeen Ellison at home. That's what I thought was a really big to do. And I remember you had mentioned it last Wednesday, if they were going to be able to compete and moving up in classification. It was tight up until the halftime, and then they just ran away with it.
Speaking of moving up in classification, I wanted to ask Paul your opinion, that Hutto College Station score.
55-14. Wow.
I had a friend that was actually at that game, and I said, and I was talking about how
was it as bad as it?
Well, that's why I asked, because I know College Station is legit. Yeah. They're legit, and I said, is it College Station is that good or Hutto is that bad? And he said it's both.
Oh wow.
And that's not even A&M Consolidated. That's just College Station.
Well, no, but College Station is like the new wave over there. They
I think
like
so.
That's the school with the money. That's the school.
Right.
And are they were 5A. I don't know if they move up to 6A as well. But I think if College Station is still 5A, I think that's a bad sign for Hutto.
Yeah, I was kind of hopeful the showing would have been a little bit more competitive, but when I saw the score and as I was monitoring throughout the night, I just thought that this was not a real good sign, not a real positive sign for Hutto. But if anybody can turn it around, it's Coach LaPlante, and so I have a lot of faith in Grayson Doggett as well as his receiving corps, and maybe it's just one of those things where they just need to get online together, and I think hopefully that's the case moving forward.
And we're gonna see like drastic changes from week 1 to week 2. I mean Coach Sanders said it in my interview with him. It's like there's nothing that comes close to a game. Like the scrimmages almost aren't even relevant. Yeah. I mean it's the game. It's I mean there was kids on the sideline like throwing up for Vandergrift because they're just out of shape. They're not in game shape. So it wouldn't surprise me to see Hutto turn things around because I think a lot of teams are going to do that after going from week 1 to week 2.
Dang, they were that out of shape?
Yeah, but on both sides.
It could have been that, or it could have just been dehydration.
Yeah, because it was kind of warm this weekend.
Yeah, it wasn't cool like it is right now.
Definitely not. All right, we'll be back Saturday. I promise this time. 10:30. Let's see. I wanted to go to the Longhorn game. Maybe I can go late. Maybe I can go late and give me like a scalp ticket.
You gotta be careful with them scalp tickets, dude.
Why? They don't work.
You gotta be careful on scalpers anyways, and now there's even less tickets.
That's true.
And there's no paper tickets.
There isn't?
Digital?
Everything is digital.
Digital Underground?
So you're gonna have to give the scalper dude your phone number, your email.
Do you know who Digital Underground is?
Oh.
Okay. Never mind. Well, I guess maybe I won't go to the game. Maybe I'll just have. What may I do the pod and then? I don't want to be late.
I'm having a volleyball tournament for my birthday at Zoker.
Are you? Is this?
He's just letting us know.
I'm just letting you know.
Is this how you're inviting or no?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think Snoop might come out and film a little bit.
So Snoop's invited.
So there is. But
it's business. It's business. I'm gonna pay him in friendship.
That's what I thought.
Sorry, are you inviting us or
to hang out? Yeah, no, y'all can come. You can come hang out. Y'all can come hang out for sure. Y'all can't play because y'all probably heard something, but y'all can come hang out for sure. That'd be cool.
Why wouldn't I be able to play?
Because you're out of shape, dude.
I'm in shape, dude.
golfing shape, pitch and
That's
putt or
true.
whatever it's called. Shape.
Man, I should see me play right now. Pretty good.
You didn't even get in the. You didn't even make the cut for your tournament, dude. There's no way you're in shape.
He didn't even get a
What?
shot.
We didn't get to play.
Nah, dude. They saw your.
Nah, bro.
They saw your references.
My references. Shout out Zach.
Yeah. Shout out Chris's golf game.
You should. It's actually not that good right now. I'm still making my adjustments. But when I hit it, I hit it good.
You didn't get those adjustments squared out whenever you got your clubs fitted?
I'm getting lessons, remember?
No.
There's this thing where I need to like gotta
Man, you must be just like, I don't know what that is. I
gotta get my wrists like done this way because like I was hitting like a baseball, swinging like a baseball bat.
So you
But
were
I need to-
slicing is what you're saying.
Yeah. So I need to like kind of
Follow through with your wrist.
yeah.
Shout out to my mom. It's her birthday on Saturday, and I'm going to do the pod, and I'm going to give her another shout out. Love you, Mom. Shout out to Enzo's Cheesecake Emporium, hooking my mom up with one of his cheesecakes.
Word up. Shout out Delfino. I'm going to shout out God, shout out my parents, Snoop Daniel, of course, our wonderful sponsors, Texas Point Outdoors and Kreitz Market. If you make it down to Lockhart, make sure. Is it the game at Lockhart tonight?
Friday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, smart thing to do is go eat barbecue, but get there at like 4 o'clock.
Yeah. They have limited seats to the game, right?
No. Oh, for the game? Yeah, like unless you have tickets, unless your child is playing on the team or you got tickets, which they stopped selling today. I'm not sure how San Marcos is handling that, but all tickets are final sold today by Lockhart ISD.
Okay. All right.
Or you can watch it at reconathlete.com.
Reconathlete.com. Don't forget about Major League Baseball. Playoffs going on. Of course, a lot of football. Shout out to Westwood. Going to be on KBVO against Lake Travis tomorrow. Let's go, RJ Martinez.
Yes.
And we'll holler at y'all on Saturday. We out.
Ladies and gentlemen, if y'all enjoying the podcast, like, subscribe, and comment down below. Thank you.